Hey, 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 hey. That groove gets me every time. I love it. Hey, guys. Welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk About It. Let's Talk About It with T. I am so glad that you guys are joining me tonight. And this is the fourth podcast. Can you believe it? The fourth podcast, y'all. Yes, we are talking about it. Now, I love these story times. They are my favorite. And actually, when I was going through like the different story times on what I would like talk about and things like that, and I was jotting them down on my notepad, I was like, wait a minute. I couldn't wait to do this one. This one still has me dying to this day. Okay. This one is kind of like a how-to, but it's also a story time to forewarn you guys what to not do, okay? And this one is entitled How Not to Impress Girls. Guys, listen, okay? How not to impress girls. All right, so I'm going to give you a little story time, and then I'm going to tie it together. But first, I just want to relate to my audience real quick. All right, check this out. Girls, can you testify for me? You ever in school, at work, wherever you're at on the street, and this guy just comes out of nowhere and wants to impress you, and he's pulling out all the stops. Maybe he does a little trick, or he comes out of nowhere, he does something totally just outlandish, right? Well, okay, it's funny how these story times or past stories mirror each other, right? Because actually, I'm going to tell my story, then I have another story from a different family member, and I'm going to tie it all together, right? You'll see what I mean later on, right? But how not to impress girls. Guys, we know y'all want to be the top catch. Y'all want to be cool in front of the ladies, but listen up. Sometimes it could backfire on that ass, okay? So I'm going to give you my story time, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the other story time, and I'm also going to tie everything together. Okay, so let's jump right into it. Here we go. All right, so I was in middle school at the time, maybe about 7th or 8th grade. I don't really remember exactly what grade it was, but that was neither here nor there. And it was me and my two best friends. We're gonna call this one Dominique and the other one, we're gonna give her a name. We're gonna call her Megan. Okay. Dominique and Megan. I always got to have code names to protect the innocent or the not so innocent. But anyway, okay. So we're walking home from school. Mind you, we lived in a town where everything was pretty much walking distance, and it wasn't like a busing district. So, and our apartment complex was very close to the school. The school was literally down the street. And I've lived in this town for 10 years. It's really like a mom and pop kind of town. All right. And all the kids usually walk home on this route. So we're going down the Ave, walking home from school, or we're about to leave the school grounds. And there's this little inlet, not an alley, but it's like a street where you could go down a little bit. So I can't really visualize it for you because I'm talking to you, but try to get my gist here. So the guys we're going to see, we're approaching the corner, and those guys are like at a little street that looks like an alley or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, so we approach these guys, and they're doing wheelies out in the middle of this street thing, this little side street. And we're just watching them, and me and my friends were talking, and we're just chopping it up. But we happened to see these guys. Now, I don't know if they were in high school. I don't think they went to our middle school. They were probably in the high school or something like that, because we would have recognized them instantly. Because the middle school and the high school were so close together. They were actually adjoined by the library. They were adjoined at one point, and the middle school shared the library, all that stuff. So our middle school and high school was right next to each other. Like I said, small town. So I think those guys were in high school. And they were riding around doing all these wheelies, trying to be cool. And, so we're watching them. And then there's another group of girls walking not too far from where we were. And Okay. All right, let me get to it. I can't stop laughing because it was so funny. So we approach these guys, and there was one I remember in particular, and he revved his bike in the air, his little bicycle, his little mountain bike, to do a wheelie. Okay, now most of these young cats know how to do these wheelies, especially the white boys and stuff like that. Y'all be knowing how to do some of them wheelies, but no, it was actually a group of like black kids actually doing this. And he was looking all high and mighty, revving up that bike, had that wheel up in the air like he just don't care. Until, to our shock and his horror, the next thing I know, I see the bike go up in the air like shriek. And the bike goes flying, and so does he. He falls and busts his... He falls, all right. He falls and busts his ass. I was just praying to God he wouldn't bust his head, but he busted his ass, all right? So... and we're just like in shock because we're like, what the hell just happened? Him and his friends, I don't know what happened with them, but I remember looking over at those other group of girls that were not too far from us, and one of them was pointing and laughing like, ha ha, like she was pointing and laughing at the guy. And this is the best part though. I never seen somebody get up on a bike and move so fast around the corner and down this main street. Oh my God. Oh, he was so embarrassed. Oh, Jesus. I felt for him. He was so embarrassed. I would be too. Okay. Here you are popping a wheelie, trying to be cool in front of your homeboys, and maybe you see a few girls, you know, those girls, myself included, maybe other people, you trying to be cool, put on a whole show, and then the next thing you know, you get your ass busted, all right? So, and the way he sped off, that took me out. I remember that white fence, because it was by a house where he took off, and I never seen somebody leave with so much speed in my damn life. Yo, that took me out. Okay. And we were dying on the way home. It was so damn funny. Like, yo, even though we went home and went about our business, like, yo, that was too damn funny. But I'm going to now tie it together to this story time my mom told me where her dad and her mom, when they started, like, or just maybe before they started courting, started dating. And, mind you, this was Jamaica a long time ago. Okay, my grandfather, he could do wheelies really well too. He was one of those guys. He could pop a wheelie up the air, He happens to see my grandmother. This is before he went out with her, mind you. He saw my grandmother, and I guess maybe she was with, I don't know, her sisters or her friends. And he decides to pop a wheelie too. And lo and behold, he busts his ass too. R.I.P. Grandpa. I love you to death, but that was funny. But I could picture it, And I know my grandmother was like, yo. Like, what the hell? But you see, guys, how not to impress girls, okay? First of all, if you're gonna do a fancy dancy trick, make sure you practice it, like to the point where you're almost damn near professional, okay? Where you've mastered this trick. And 2, be careful on how adventurous you are with your tricks, because it can backfire on you. Hence, old boy that we saw at middle school, and even my grandfather, even though he got the girl in the end. But but how not to impress girls, okay? And also, you don't want to be fake and phony and, being not you, right? And we could tell girls the same thing. We want you to be yourselves, and you don't have to go all the way out of your way to, make yourself look like Superman. you know, and us true girls will love Clark Kent. And I know guys like to pull out the stops, you know, strut their peacock feathers. You know, it's the whole part of the woo, the cajole, all of that. Okay. You know, it's all a part of that. But, yo, you got to pick your tricks carefully. Yes. And if you're going to woo her, do whatever, do something where it doesn't require you to be a crash dummy, you know. But just be true, be authentic, be your natural self, make her laugh, make her smile. You know, hey, you get the girl, hey, and if you don't, you don't. But we know oftentimes we see guys doing this, strutting around their peacock feathers, trying to be cool, backfires on them anyway. But hey, I want to know if girls have tried to do this and it totally ended up left for them. You know, it went left for them. But guys, I just want to know, like, have you done something totally where you've embarrassed yourself in front of girls, and how did you recover from that? Or have you felt like you never recovered from that? And we know the male ego is a fragile thing, right? But yeah, rule number 1 in my book, don't bust your ass. No, but I'm just saying, just be yourself. It sounds cliche, but in the end, truthfully, just be your best authentic self, okay? And another thing, you know, also guys like to flaunt what they have, you know, whether it's money, cars, everything. You know, a true woman wouldn't, you know, go too goo goo gaga over that. You know, it's nice to have nice things. If you're proud, you're proud. But I wouldn't, you know, go out of my way to like say, oh, I have this, I have that. And some people just want to flex, especially for the gram, for, you know, Facebook, all that stuff. Like, no, don't worry about that flexing. And half the time when you do that, you attract the wrong energy anyway, right? But yeah, that's a whole nother thing on, you know, how to impress girls. Or, you know, I could give you a whole rule book, you know, be your authentic self, you know, just, you know, be you, and you don't have to flaunt this, flaunt that. Be kind, be sweet, whatever. I could give you the whole rundown, but I'm going to just tell you this one cardinal rule. Don't bust your ass. Okay. But I'm going to stop there for that. But that was just a funny little story time. Just, yeah. Just learn from my mans. Learn from my grandpa, even though we got the girl in the end. But yeah. Do something where you're not going to end up in the emergency room. And we'll call it a day. All right. But guys, I had so much fun with that. I loved it. That was just a funny story I will never forget to this day. And, you know, it's funny because I see this all the time, like, especially in fail videos and stuff like that. The guys just do all the stuff, like I said, to strut their peacock feathers, and it backfires on them in the end. But hey, tell me all about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about how, baby guys, like I said, have you bust your ass in front of a girl? Have you done something embarrassing? Have you recovered? Have you not recovered? You know, or hey, you know, maybe you did pull off a fancy trick and it works. You know, or what was your ways of impressing a girl? Or what did you learn from that mistake and how not to impress girls? Right? What route did you take? That's what I want to know. But anyway, guys, I love you all. This was so much fun. Can't wait to do another one. I don't know why I'm so tickled pink, but before I bust a gut and roll over on my bedroom floor, I'm just going to say good night all. Take care. Enjoy yourselves. Have a nice night. And don't bust your ass. All right? And this is Let's Talk About It with T. Let's talk about it in the comment section. Let's like, comment, subscribe. And also, let's talk about it on Instagram. I'm T's World 93 on there. Check me out. Subscribe to T's World. Let's chop it up. Let's talk about it. This is T signing off. Bang, bang, bong, bong. T Tribe, I love y'all. And yeah, I'm going to see y'all in the next one. All right? Take care. Deuce. Bam, bam, bang, bang. Bye.